Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get started.
I have thought a lot in the last 24 hours.
Time to get your weekly sports fix.
By the skin of their teeth they lost.
Then you can just ride it the whole thing.
With Stix.
What's happening, fellas? We're back. Holy cow. It's been a minute.
A roller coaster as always, right?
Yeah, we just a little bit of technical difficulties. It seems to be the story. We're on a good roll over there for a minute where we didn't have any of those technical glitches. So there's always a good time when we get those. Nothing wrong with that, though. Power through it. Going on, Barcot, buddy? How's life over there? The other side?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much.
Man, AB is in the house looking comfortable, looking relaxed. You know what I mean?
Just trying to be, baby. Just trying to be.
And that's the thing that most people are not concerned with. Okay? That is what everybody need to be concerned with first and foremost.
Being comfortable?
Unless they losing a whole lot of bets right now today.
No.
Oh my God, them folks is not comfortable right now, man. It's a
I'm
lot
over,
of stuff. There's a lot of
I'm
stuff
over here. I'm over here fatter than I've ever been and still happier than I've ever been. So
perspective. The man has perspective.
Weight's just a number.
Hey, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
That's right. Exactly.
Hey, shout out to Henry VIII, yo. You know what I'm saying? People better understand this. Hey, I'm trying to have gout before I go out.
Shit.
You feel what I'm saying?
Trying to bring back some middle-aged stuff.
Hey.
By the way, Texas just kicked a field goal, so it's 13-3, baby.
You know how
that's looking good.
You know that Pasco internet rolls. I keep getting kicked out, so I just tried to turn the game on and see what it was. What did you say the score was?
13-3.
13-3 Texas.
Yeah, and by the way, Bama's got some quarterback issues because that young man they got is 4 for 10 for 33 yards and a pick.
Oh,
they do.
Yeah, I mean, it's cliche. I mean, I hate cliches, but if you got way too many quarterbacks, I don't care if you're in college or not. You don't have none. Yeah, I mean, you don't have one. You can't just be doing this. And Alabama too. They think they can slide and keep doing this on talent, but I don't think they have the talent this year. Sometimes when this money came into play, this talent, you know what I'm saying, and his force that he had over these kids before with the backhanded bread, you know what I mean? Now, we got legal bread, Louis Vuitton bread. And those boys is looking like paid Bishop Sycamore professional.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys follow Caleb Williams on Instagram, but I do. And that man is living like Matthew Stafford minus the wife. He's got himself a condo with security guards that protect the elevator. It's like trying to get in a casino. He's got himself a high-end car. His condo's got all glass windows all the way around, looking downtown LA. He went to Europe all summer. I mean, this man is living like a professional athlete. And I'm not faulting him. Hey, go get that money. The college players should have been getting paid for years.
Glenn, we talked about this. Let's bring this to the people then. Okay, he just said it. Why did these players just snatch? I'm talking about college players, just snatch full control of not the college, not their coaches and all of this. The pros, homie, they just shook up the whole game. Now, if I'm hot 1 year out, I don't need I can jockey to see who this team is like me and AB was talking about Stix. What you think about all of this now that these dudes got bread and can flaunt it? I think I like it. What about you?
I see nothing wrong with it. Like Barcott said, you can't fault them for getting that money. I don't know if we had this conversation, we were talking about it, but like talking about how they may stay quote unquote longer in college due to being paid. I mean, obviously the pay is a little different in the NFL. I mean, there's millions more, but you're right though. I mean, I think it was Caleb Williams we were talking about. Like, if he's getting whatever he's getting, he has to be getting over probably $1.5 million, if not more. Who knows how long you're going to make it in the NFL? Might as well get another extra couple million.
He's probably making $8-9 million. He's making more than Kenny Pickett.
How many times have we seen his face on Wendy's commercials?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was doing the Dr. Pepper Heisman House
endorsement money. Yeah, they're getting paid. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Now it's just got to trickle down to the coaches, I guess, all buying in or whatever. It sounds like they are. But what was that thing you were just talking about with Texas A&M, Barcot?
Like what was
Saban was saying something about Saban was saying
let's go back in time real quick.
Yeah, he couldn't handle
he had that Texas
couldn't
A&M
compete with it or something.
Yeah, Texas A&M 2021 Jimbo Fisher had what everybody called the greatest recruiting class of all time.
Mm-hmm.
They went 5-7 overall last year. They're getting thumped by Miami tonight. And Saban had that. He got caught on video. Remember, he got caught on video twice. He got caught on video once, bad mouthing Dion while they're doing the commercials together. And then he got caught on a boosters meeting where he was basically saying, you can't expect me to go out and keep winning when you've got, Texas oil money down there buying players to go to Texas schools. And so some of that is true in the sense that Alabama right now, I mean,
that's true.
I know Jason doesn't believe in Caleb Williams, but I do. I think he's a superstar. And Caleb Williams is that kind of player that will show you, I don't need an SEC defense. I'll go put 50 on anybody, and you can score 45. But just like Colorado TCU, I'm still walking out of there with a win. Right now, Alabama's feeling that repercussion because they can't throw the ball for the first time in probably since Tua took over in that championship game. They can't throw the ball.
You think Nick Saban is he's turning all pious on everybody now? Oh, now I'm not paying guys. Look at what they doing. I'm the guy in the princely robes now doing it the OG way. The old school backhanded in the brown paper bag way. I'm still doing it that way, but it ain't working.
I would say that except for Bryce Young got a ton of money last year.
Oh yeah,
Bryce Young.
Once the floodgates,
he Alabama is historical, obviously, as they are in football. You can't argue what they mean in the NCAA football, but they don't have boosters like USC. USC's got George Lucas, for God's sakes. They got Texas is beating them right now. You know why? Because they've got oil magnets.
Donors.
Exactly. Alabama. I'm not saying Alabama has poor people that graduate from there at all.
No.
But they don't have billionaires.
Yeah.
And they don't have the guys like Texas A&M, USC, UCLA, and that's
the breakdown of these conferences, because these conferences have a hold on one tap of bread. Right. Yep. And Texas and the Big 12 have that tap of bread in that area. And the alumni just throw money around like Uncle Jed, you know what I'm saying, just moved to town and hit the
100%
the derrick and the oil in the backyard. Right. So
100%.
Exactly what's going on, except for now the old school Southeast way of doing it. The brown paper bag is cheap now. It's cheap. We don't want that bread. That bread does not put me on TV. That bread does not help my brand like it used to. My dad is not talking about this much. Now I'm talking about it. Before, I need my dad is, trying to smooth to get me a little bread or get them a little bread. Now these guys are talking about Prime. I want to be in the commercial with you and your son. What?
Yep.
But and so there's not. There's not. It doesn't seem like there's that a big of a like business companies, like you talk about the oil companies. You talk about LA billionaires. Alabama area just doesn't have those like the big companies that are going to back the program. They got the boosters, yeah, like they always have had. But like you were saying, homie, the paper bag treatment was good back then because that was the money that they were getting, and that was, the top-notch dollar.
And
now
we know what the business was in the Southeast, right? Because we know oil money. Okay, what came through Florida in the 80s when the mighty Hurricanes was popping? You hear what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's the money that ran out. That's null and void anymore. That's old. That's old washed dude money now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What else got you in college football today, boys?
Cocaine.
I know I didn't get to watch the whole Colorado game, so I did get to see some of it, but not all of it. So what does it seem like? I know homie was talking offline that Colorado top 5. You think they're going to get up to the top 5? If Alabama,
he said top 5 players on
paper.
Tape. That's not on paper. That's not top 5 ranking.
What are they right now? 22?
You put these dudes. I'm talking about eye test.
Yeah,
and this would be a team that might fool you, right? In terms of everything, because they look like they are smooth in terms of the offense. Number one, it looks like they take control right away. Now, every team has holes, and it looks like team exploited those holes. So what do I look for? How do they bounce back after a team hit them one, right? And what did I say earlier? These boys look like they got pro compulsion, yo.
Yeah.
And they didn't. I don't think they turned the ball over. I know Shador hasn't turned the ball over in 2 games. I don't think he threw a pick today, but I don't know if they have any fumbles or anything.
No, but he did get sacked 7 times today.
And that's what we talked about, right? Go and tell. I mean, what do they have to do? I mean, is he going to stay number one? And it's null and void if he's the Cowboys coach next year, or if he's the Seminoles coach next year. I think he's just going to the pro. But no, nevertheless, if he does, if you're recruiting, that's what you need to be recruiting for. Trench O-line right now, and to try to build some of those savage dudes that'll chase a quarterback right now, right?
Right. Absolutely.
100%. Did he well, I know these guys jump out of contracts all the time. They get paid to not coach these days.
Yeah.
What is Dion there for 4 years or 2, or what was the contract? Couldn't remember.
That's a good question.
Let's see if I can find it.
Because you think about this, I would equate it to what's going on with LeBron James. Okay, now here's the question. This is who I would look at. How many years of eligibility does his son have left?
Probably.
That's what I would look for.
He's
this year and next year.
He's going to bounce after next year.
Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. LeBron James and Bronny James. They're trying to line things up some kind of weird way. He knows that he can get Jerry Jones to pick Shador Sanders at some point in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you don't think Deion Sanders is not thinking big time baller? I mean, level moves, not just this little funny, I just have a coach job. He's not a coach. I mean, this dude is an executive. He's not coaching that team. He's being the old school guy, like rah in the sense of the thing. But that dude is big time CEO in this thing.
Oh yeah, that's why he's got great assistants. He's got great assistants, and he's talked about that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's no different than Saban. Saban doesn't actually coach anybody in Alabama. He's the old. I'm going to sit up there and yell at you in the megahorn from up above, and why my assistants do everything. And I agree with what you're saying. I think what I said today offline, I still stand by, even though they beat up Nebraska. Nebraska's not good. Nebraska got beat up by Minnesota. So let's be honest about what they are.
I said was it was just a program. It's a program.
Oh yeah.
Legit program.
Give Matt Rule a couple years.
No. You're not. Homie's not wrong. Nebraska's still Nebraska. They're still pulling kids that can play. They're pulling better kids than other schools are. That's for sure. Let's remember they got off to a 10-0 lead in the second half or second quarter because the quarterback. I was amazed the defense held on as long as they could. The quarterback had 4 turnovers in the first half, and they only gave up 10 points. I question what, and it goes with every team that has this many portal transfers. I don't question Deion. I think he's going to do a great job. I think Colorado's going to be great down the road. But they've got problems, and Nebraska exposed their problems up front. And that defense just got tired. That defense played lights out, and they just got tired. But Oregon and USC, you've got Colorado State next week. And then you got Oregon and USC. Oregon and USC are not having quarterbacks turn the ball over 4 times in the first half. That's not going to happen. And we're not, he had the 1 interception, but we're talking about he's fumbling snaps and messing up handoffs. Caleb Williams and the Knicks kid in Oregon aren't throwing those picks, and they aren't handing off balls and dropping on the ground. So what are you going to do when Caleb Williams goes out and throws for 400 yards? What are you going to do when you have a quarterback that can match Sanders? And so that's going to be the question right now. Now, down the road, next year, they'll get better. But USC doesn't have to worry about Colorado next year. They're in the Big Ten, and Colorado's in the Big 12. I don't got to play you no more. But 3 weeks from now, when you got Caleb Williams out there doing Pat Mahomes stuff, that's a whole nother level. Caleb Williams is a whole nother level from what they've seen. So
with a line that was recruited to protect this man. Okay, exactly. This is different.
And running backs, they put 250 yards on the, and I know it's Nevada, but they only ran the ball 20 times and they had 250 yards. I mean, it's going to be different when they see Oregon, because Oregon and USC also can match their speed as much as, and I do admit, homie, you're right. On tape, they've got athletes in Colorado.
Every level.
That's unquestionable. But they haven't faced a team yet that can match you. And Oregon and USC are going to be, now we're going to see, hey, how fast are those DBs when you got 3 wide receivers running 4-3-5 at Oregon and USC?
I don't know how good. I know USC's defense has been sketched the last 2 weeks. I don't know how if they're going to get any better tonight against. I think they play Stanford.
They were pretty good against Nevada, and again, it's Nevada, but they're pretty good.
Stanford is not about to roll over, number one, because Stanford is supposed to be a pushover this year. But this is day one time to show you playing against the one big dog in your yard. And this is the only show you're going to get to be in front of people who is going to talk good or bad about you. If this was the old school poll days, this would mean a whole lot to Stanford. You know what I mean? They might vault to the top by beating the SC. So they're going to give everything they got. Now, almost similar to now Colorado State next week, they'll probably try to throw everything they can to try to be the team that knocks off the Buffaloes and Deion Sanders with an interstate rival. But I don't think that's the time. I think that they'll probably coast a little bit in that game and then try to get ready and focus in on them other 2 games. I don't even think they're thinking about Colorado State.
No. Yeah. And I agree with you. That you never want your team to do that, but I agree with what you're saying. I
hope
they want to get into those big. They want, especially if with Oregon and USC both being ranked and Colorado being ranked, obviously.
And you got them back to back. So it's the first time Colorado players are going to have to go back to back. I don't have to worry about a cupcake. I've got back to back dudes.
Legit games.
Yeah. And can I put that young man out there for 160 plays? Back-to-back weeks. Yep. They already showed today they reeled him in a little bit. They're not going to be able to reel him in against Oregon and USC. They're just going to have to go out there and try to be a dog, and we'll find out if they can be. But I really like Oregon, and I'm a huge Caleb Williams fan. I'm not saying that they get rolled, but I think that's a big test for Colorado. Both those games are going to be. That's going to be hard.
Let's offset some of this with some Washington talk.
Oh,
give them some Husky talk. I mean, let's get some homerism in
some
here.
Husky and some Florida State about ready to kick off. I think they just kicked off actually. But yeah, I didn't get to watch the Husky game today either. All I know is they put up 42-43 against Tulsa.
Hey, don't shortchange this man. Don't shortchange this man.
We'll see what happens. But right Penix is still a Heisman candidate, and he should be.
As like you should, absolutely.
And like Barcot said, once they start playing, other teams start playing these no cookie cutter teams. It's going to be nice once they start playing some of the Pac-12 teams that they have to play. I don't know who they got next, but I want to see them tested. I want to see Washington tested. I want to see Penix tested because they're supposed to be good and they are good, but I hate these non-conference games that are, even Florida State playing Southern Miss today or some shit like that.
And
Come on.
this is what I was telling you. Okay, you know your guys, but you don't know the other team. The other team is supposed to be a scrub. You trust your guys to beat them down, or do you trust to kind of let this team hang around? That's how you look at it.
Well, I think
look at UW saying they went out there and handled their business. They're not stopping. They're still going to throw. My man, Michael Penix J, 403. It wasn't the 500. It wasn't the 500, but so far there hasn't been a 500 this week that would knock him out of the conversation. So therefore, he's still tight in this mixture. And Washington is not playing with these people. I'm telling you, right now they don't stop in the fourth quarter. This is what I like. So I'm trusting them to score everybody, and they're going to continue because I think he wants to chase this trophy situation. So why not? If the coaches are going to let you.
Yeah, and what you talk about all the time, homie, you talk about. And I think we've discussed this too with Barcot as well. So if you're a good team, exactly what you just said, and you're a higher ranked, if you're a top 15 team, and it doesn't matter who you're playing, you have to score as many points as possible. What did Oregon throw up like 80 last week or some shit?
Yeah.
You have to keep scoring. You can't just take a play off and keep and just lay back and say, oh, we got this game in the bag. Coaches poll and the AP poll, once they start coming out with the playoff rankings for the actual playoffs, then all these points scored are going to come into effect and make count towards your voting, towards the votes for your team. So yeah, and then like you said too, the chasing the Heisman Trophy and maybe a national championship, at least a playoff, should be good, should be in the sights.
Yeah, that's it.
Does he have another year of eligibility?
Penix? I don't think so. He's already fifth year.
He played like 2 or 3 years at Indiana. I think.
Yeah.
I think Oregon right now, speaking of, they're struggling. They're going in right now. They're going in on Texas Tech. I think they're inside the 10, but they're down to a minute before halftime, 2 minutes before halftime, and they're only up 15-13 against Texas Tech. So they're struggling a little bit today. Or 15-13 with a minute to play at Texas Tech in the first half.
Now, UW still has Michigan State next week, and we know that they're notorious. They love to fight. They're scrappy, and this is the home of your boy, Kenneth Walker Jr., I'm saying the third.
Yeah,
great.
K9.
Great game for Washington because, again, what conference are they in next year? They're in the Big Ten. So great game for them to go out there and see that. So I will also say Washington does not play Colorado this year. So Penix won't have his chance to go down and shine out against Colorado. But I like that kid. He's a stud. He's that rare 5th-year senior that I'm like, yeah, that guy can play in the NFL. Unlike a Knicks.
Yeah, usually when the guys that gay. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a Knicks.
He's no Chris Winkie.
Chris Winkie. He did like Aaron said, the rare 5th guy that could play in the NFL. Poor guy.
Penix is going to be. I think he's a stud, man. I like Penix.
Hey, well, let's jump into a little MLB real quick because I know Barcot wants to bust my balls for a second, and then let's hit on some NFL. Any games we're looking at for Sunday, which it's week 1, and we probably got like 15 minutes left.
We're on the same page with the Kirby situation.
That was kind of
with 3 weeks to the playoffs. You don't want to hear a guy going,
"Hold up, AB, tell him what happened first. Tell him what happened first. Tell the people what happened
first.
Well,
he lost the game. He gave up a 2-run home run that lost the game. So he did blow the game. So that's on him.
He did.
And now it's a 162-game schedule.
Yeah.
Every pitcher. You're a Dodger fan. Kershaw's blown games. I'm a Yankee fan. Garrett Cole's gone out and stunk up the joint. But they're not sitting in front of a press conference going, man, I should not have been out there that inning.
Right.
Why'd they put me out there?
Who says
and I realized
that?
Kirby's not there. I realized Kirby's not their ace. And I realized, like Jason already said, he got dialed up a little bit by service.
It's a new generation.
But yeah, that you're right. Homie just hit it right there. That's not you don't hear Felix would say that. Felix lost every year in his career in Seattle.
Right.
You don't hear dudes saying that stuff. And the funny part is the Yankees had Old Timers Day, and they asked David Wells about this current team, and it was just to play off the two, Kirby and Wells. And Wells was like, "Hey man, I remember we had 2 bad games, and Coney went out and gave up 10, and the next day I gave up 8. And I walked I was trying to get to the clubhouse, and Posada threw me against the pillar, he put his hand on my neck, threw me against the pillar, and started cussing me out about quitting." And I was like, now today we had kids out there in front of reporters. I don't know why I was out there. 20 years ago, you would have got your catcher beating your ass for saying that.
Right.
With the microphone in their face, they're giving free information.
I mean, that's just kind of
Winslow. And now I don't knock Kirby. He's a good pitcher, but the mentality.
Yeah.
Now I question his, because I know he said the right thing today, but
after he got a stern talking to.
The first time he gets lit up in the playoffs, I'm going to be like, yeah. What you going to say today? You shouldn't have been out there in the 4th inning when you gave up those 5 runs.
That's all bad. It's all bad when you have your pitcher start.
Your Mariners are 1 game back. Is he going to prevent them from making and weaseling their way in?
Nah, he'll be fine. They'll be fine. I think he just had to get it off his chest. He had some emotional issues, breakdown of a long season. He, could be tired. I know he's a young kid and just said something that he didn't say.
And I agree with all that. He's a young kid. He gave up a bad pitch, and we all know, and I'm not agreeing with the generation, but we all know this generation, first response, not my fault. And so that's what he did. Unfortunately, he did it in front of a reporter with a microphone and a camera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Homie's married. Homie knows. We don't have microphones or cameras, but there's been times we tried to tell our wives, not my fault. And we knew damn well we were full of shit.
I work as much as I can.
Well, I think once I talked to all that last week about how they're going 20 and whatever in their next, I guess it was 23 games now or 22 when we talked last week. I thought it was like 27, but thought they'd win 20 games. But I think they've lost 4 of the last damn 6 or some shit like that.
Well, their schedule's getting tough, man.
They need to figure it out.
They got Texas, they got Houston.
Yep.
They're not playing Kansas City anymore, bro.
No, and that's what they did, and that's why they took advantage of the light schedule. And they did shit away a couple games with those against the Mets and then Reds, but that was their opportunity to get.
The Reds are good.
Team. Yeah, the Reds are good, but they should have been able to pull off those 2 wins, or two of at least 3. I think they only won 1 of the 3, but. But they should have been able to, like you just said, Barcot, the tough schedule, but that's when you're going to get into the playoffs. You're going to play tough teams in the playoffs too. So you might as well get a couple of tough wins and get some series wins when you can. And now going down the stretch, they have to. It's going to be a tight wild card race.
Not if you get Minnesota first. I cannot believe a team that bad is going to win a division and host a playoff series.
Yeah.
I mean, you got teams out there like Homie's Dodgers that went from like 10 games over 500 to 30 with injuries and still got there. And now you got Minnesota out there going 9 games over 500. I can't name a starting pitcher after Sonny Gray, who, by the way, is only 1 game over 500, even with his great ERA. And they're going to host a postseason.
Yeah.
Minnesota is going to host a postseason, a playoff.
And there hasn't even been another team competitive in that division the whole year either. Right. So they just got lucky. Right. Just got out to a couple good starts.
Yeah, I think their second best team in that division is Cleveland. They got a losing record.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Man, you guys are playing awfully nice right now. Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
Well, let's
Yankees,
get
young boys, Yankees, young blood, or Mariners, young blood. Come on, y'all was talking it up real hard offline. You got Kirby, you got Julio, and all of this. And
nobody can name any Yankees players. Nobody wants to know, they don't know any of these Yankees guys.
But he could introduce us to them. All right, who are they and why are they bad?
You got Pierre in left field, who had 20 home runs and 30 stolen bases in AAA. And he's going to be a legit left fielder. I'm not saying he's an all-star, but he's going to be that guy that finally fills that hole where we've had a rotation of left fielders. So first off, all 5 of these kids are 22 and younger. Austin Wells at catcher. He's probably going to transition to first base because he's got some of that Joe Mauer in him where he's just too big to catch.
Okay. I like
6'3", 6'4". He's got to go play first base, which would be great because Rizzo only has 1 more year on his contract. Peraza is the one that is kind of like he and Oswaldo Cabrera are the 2 that can play a multitude of positions. but Peraza's the athlete. I mean, he had 20 home runs at AAA before we called him up. The big one, obviously, is the Martian, who's already hit 4 home runs in his first 8 games. Now, I'm not suggesting I think he's going to pan out to be like a 30-30 guy, because he did have, I think he had 48 stolen bases. I think he had 48 stolen bases in the minor leagues this year. So I don't think he's going to, he's not going to hit 40 home runs. Like
is he one of these new school kind of guys like De La Cruz that is just crazy out here? It just 5-tool monsters, like crazy baseball athletes now.
He's an athlete. He's not 5-tool because defense he's not great at, but he can run. He can hit for average, can hit for power. But he doesn't have tremendous defensive skills. But I mean, we're writing off. The one thing I'll say, and obviously, this is a massively disappointing season. I can't argue that. I do know that Japanese pitcher that threw a no-hitter last night. I know Brian Cashman has spent this last week in Japan following him.
Of course he did.
I know. But I do know we're writing off $150 million this year. We lose $150 million this year off the books. So, and when you say that, most people are like, yeah, but you probably got 9 guys. No, we got those 5 rookies. We still got Stanton, Judge, Cole, Rondon. We got our entire bullpen coming back. So right now at $120, $125 million next year, we only have like 5 open spots. So
you know what?
It's not like we got a $125 million roster and go into the offseason and be like, oh, we got to fill 9 spots. No, we got 5 positions to fill with $125 million.
Barcott, you know this best, that your Yankees are, they had an off year, whatever. They'll be back. They
were fucking terrible this year. No, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed, man. I'm absolutely.
But no,
embarrassed.
listen to this. I was just thinking.
My one gold spot is we took 4 out of 6 from the Mariners. You guys go to the playoffs, but we still beat you 4 out of 6.
Something to say for that.
But no offense, Big Homie. We took 2 out of 3 from Dodger Stadium. So I mean.
But just think about this.
You two will still
in
be
your
playing
side
the playoffs, and I'll be like, hey man, we were 6-3. I mean, we were golfing while you motherfuckers was playing, but we were 6-3.
Yeah, but just think, we all know Stanton's not going to be roaming the outfield anytime soon. But you have Judge, you have Stanton, and you have Dominguez in that lineup. That's going to be some scare. If you keep all 3 of those guys healthy all year, that'll be a solid lineup.
The one player we have to sign, and Homie knows this because he's on this fantasy team. The one player we have to sign that drives me fucking nuts, but he's hitting 275 with almost 30 home runs.
He's the guy.
We got to go resign. Gleyber Torres. And that's going to be the one that's going to be like $25 million a year.
He's got to be the next up Mr. Yankee guy. Like, he seems like he's the guy. Him and Judge. It's like him and Judge. They got to lead this next little roster of cats.
And he's that guy. The one thing I will give him over Cano was a better all-around player. The one thing I'll give him over Cano was the guy that let shit get to him. He was one of the guys back when we had the old team and we had Ibanez and those guys, and Detroit embarrassed us and we hit like 180 as a team in the playoffs. Cano was that guy that was like, I don't know why they're booing me. Well, yeah, because you hit 100 in the playoffs, bro. Torres is that guy that just doesn't seem to care, which I love. Yeah. He just doesn't hear the noise. He's out there pregame fucking around doing shit. I love that because you need that in New York City.
I'm not a big Yankee guy, but he's giving me big Soriano vibes.
I agree.
Are you getting that feel too?
I am, minus the stolen bases, because remember Soriano was 40-40 one year.
Yeah,
he doesn't steal bases, but he gives me. I do, because Soriano was terrible defensively, but damn, that dude always had a big hit. I mean, even that World Series we lost to Arizona, people forget it was 1-1, top 9. Soriano's the guy that hit the home run to give us the lead. That's the whole reason Mariano pitched the 9th inning. Soriano hit a home run off Kurt Schilling, give us a 2-1 lead in the 9th inning. That's why we rolled out Mariano. So, he does give me, because I've seen a couple games, I'll tune in, and I'm like, God, this is so close to a blow. And all of a sudden, Gleyber's like, bang. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's gone.
Keeps you back in the game.
Gets you back in the game. So, he's also a guy with his glove like Soriano. Homie's not wrong. Minus stolen bases, it's Soriano. It's Alfonso Soriano all over again, which I'm not mad about. Because Soriano was a stud. He just had a birth certificate that lied by about 5 years.
Yes, many of them do. Well, shit, we didn't even get to any NFL, but NFL is back. We talked a little bit last week about Thursday night's game, and the Lions told everybody to take the money line, and should have listened. We knew KC's on the downfall. I have a lot to say about KC. Hopefully, I have a lot to say about
Mike Evans. Watch for Mike Evans.
Trash
Tampa Bay
Cowboys.
Tampa Bay just came out and said we're not extending Mike Evans, and his contract ends this year, so they will trade him. Watch Mike Evans end up, and you know how Mike Evans gets that deep ball and Pat Mahomes. Mike Evans will.
Yeah, they definitely need some help, don't
count
they?
It. Mike Evans. See, Kansas City has nothing on the perimeter. Mike Evans will be a wide receiver in Kansas City by Halloween.
Hey, my friend. Hey, you look familiar.
Yeah, that'll definitely help out with all the drops.
Mike Evans will change life in Kansas City, so I think they go after him.
Do you think that they have? Do you think that they're in that mode because of what we saw in terms of Tony and the drops and the Butterfingers without having Kelsey? Do you feel like they in urgency? They got to make this move.
I do, and here's why: because that defense looked good, and you didn't have your best player. That defense gave up 2 touchdowns all night. They had the pick 6. They gave up 14 points to a 30-point-a-night team last year. Detroit was 30-plus points a night.
Yeah,
they gave up 14 on that defense. I think as long as you got Mahomes under 30 and you got Kelsey out there, you are constantly in win-now mode. So I think they go get Mike Evans. They got to figure
I like that.
Side.
He wants a contract, though.
Yeah, and you heard it here first.
He wants a contract, though. That's the problem. He wants a contract.
I think he'll be all right playing down there.
I can see him saying, "I'll take less money to play with Pat Mahomes for the next 5 years."
I mean, come on, 2 back-to-back, them 2 last quarterbacks minus this whatever he's got right here. Hey, he's in a good spot.
If Mike Evans says, I'll play with Pat Mahomes. All right.
There so we got a little bit of chatter going on in there. You heard it here first from Barcot. I like that little snippet there, Barcot. Put it on tape. Mike Evans to KC, you heard it here first. Remember to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast platform. Go to thisisfunner.com for more podcasts and online content. Grab some merch while you're there. From the Funner family, check us out on YouTube at Sports Fix with Stix and Nos Big Homie. Subscribe and smash the like button. Follow us on Twitter follow me on Twitter at Stix015. Follow this guy, Nos Big Homie, at homie_anonymous. Use the hashtag Stix the Sports. We appreciate y'all. Barcot, Homie, appreciate you guys. Homie, close us out.
Man, hey, this is it right here. We getting ready for Olympics, and guess who just gave us another good shot? Shout out to Coco Golf. U.S. Open American style. We are ready for the Olympics, baby.
That was Sports Fix with Stix. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. If you want to join the show, use the hashtag StixandSports.
Winners don't make excuses.